Islam family? Y'all wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We're going to have a little great fun today. You're going to learn some things. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to bring it up to speed. And I'm going to try to set you on a short, solid, rocky foundation. Solid. So you don't have to worry about anybody trying to dupe you, fool you, or give you anything that you can't back up. I promise you that's what I'm going to do. And the reason why I'm going to do it right now is because there's some Moors that actually are excited over the weekend, over this week, about raising the Moroccan flag in Philadelphia. And they put it out, YouTube, what a blissful day, what a great day it is to see that they said the Moorish flag fly high. But at the same point, we're going to turn around and say, well, there's a difference between the Moorish and there's a difference between Moroccan. Now, this is the same people that just said one thing, but now they're doing something else. So we're going to basically lay down a foundation so you can see what's what. Now, they're saying one thing. The official documents that come out of the city of Philadelphia is saying a different things. So who are you going to believe? The officials, where they're saying happy now, the Moorish flag has been raised in the city of Philadelphia, right? That's what they're saying. The Philadelphian records now is saying that how it is considered to be Moroccan flag day. What? Did I stutter? Huh? No, because now see, this is what we're going. This is what I'm gonna teach you. Because evidently now there's a discrepancy, there's some misunderstanding of what people don't really understand as to what Noble Drew brought. And why he brought it there it is. If our lessons tell you that we are what? Descendants of Moroccans born such and such, right? The Moroccan have their own flag. The kingdoms that we founded was Tunis, Tripoli, Algiers, Morocco. Each one of them have their own what? Flags. And each one of those flags are what? Moorish flags. But we ain't gonna mess with that for a minute now. I want to have a little fun. I promise y'all I'm gonna make it real plain for y'all tonight or today. Say it again, man. Of course. We know that. You go. Oh, shoot, Brother Sufi calling me. Hold on. I got to take this one in your class. Islam in classes, more. You good? All right. I'm teaching classes right now. I just wanted to say hi to you. All right. Peace and love. Yeah. That's good. Right? Anyway, I shouldn't have done that. I apologize. Had to. But anyway, let's get back to the lessons. I've been fined 50 cents. My phone rang, so 50 cents. I'll pay my 50 cents. I'll do that. Not a problem. But anyway, business. So what we got? Like I told y'all, we're trying to get our own building. We're very close to it. After today, too, we have actually the agricultural department is doing a fundraiser for us over at a vegan festival. Those of us that can go to support, make sure we go to support, wear your T-shirts, and help along the way. Good network and everything that comes along with that. I'll pass the fly out, read off the locations and stuff like that. So after service, that's where we're going to go. Good? Ready for class? All right. Let's go to chapter 48. The end time of fulfillment of the prophecies. And in the big Quran, you got to, Brother Hameen, tell me where it's at, please. In our Quran, the study guide. End time of fulfillment of prophecies. While he's looking for that, I'm going to put this up so y'all can read. Can anybody see this? Can anybody see that? Judges, that's all the Bible. You got it? You found it? What chapter? 48? In the big Quran too? The fulfillment? Yeah. No, I'm telling you. The small one is the end time of fulfillment of prophecies. Find that chapter. Find the end time of fulfillment of prophecies. Look in the index. Judges 19 and 10. There's a reason why I put that up. Somebody read that for me and tell me what it says. Somebody read that. Anybody can read it. Anybody can read that, huh?
But the man would not tarry that night. But he rose up
Mm-hmm.
came over against Jebus,
Jebus.
which is Jerusalem.
Which is what?
Jerusalem.
Who can tell me who Jebus is?
Chapter 70 in Marshall.
Okay, good. So in the big Quran, go to 70. Who can tell me who Jebus is? So he came against Jebus, and they tell you Jebus is which is what? Jerusalem. And they were what? With him 2 asses.
Saddle, his concubine also was with him.
I'm giving y'all some little nuggets real quick before we get into the lessons, and I'm doing that intentionally because I want y'all to understand the power and really who you are. In the Christian record or teaching in church, what do they say that we were cursed because of who? Because of Ham, right? Ham had sons, and Ham had grandsons. So Ham's grandson, one of them was called, Ham's son was called Canaan. Canaan's son was called. So where's Jerusalem belongs to who now? Who? The lineage is not your lineage? Y'all lost already? To the Canaanites. Drew Ali brought you back and traced you back through Canaan, and everything says Jerusalem belongs to you. It's your city. Y'all don't see it? You want me to pull out the bracket? Y'all get it? Ham had Canaan. Canaan had sons. Sons is who? Jebus, Jerusalem, which is what? Jerusalem. So Jerusalem is whose city? It's your city. Y'all don't get it. Ah, shoot, y'all messing today. Y'all sleeping. Thank you very much. Y'all sleeping on me today.
The way that you know is that the word Jerusalem means the land of peace.
Yeah, not only that, the holy city.
To Canaan, to Jebus, J-E-B.
Forget y'all. Y'all sleeping today. I'm going to wake y'all up right now anyway. Forget that. All right, let's get into the lessons. Who want to read for me now?
What you read?
Who want to read? Chapter, how many you want to read for me? End time of fulfillment of prophecies?
Yeah, okay. Islam.
Islam?
Praise be to Allah. Muhammad said, praise to Allah and honor to the Prophet. Praise to everybody here. Right? Praise to all things Moorish. I'm careful of Islam. We'll read chapter 70. We'll go to the Quran, the end time, and the fulfilling of the prophet. Every prophet needs a holy book of guidance for his nationals. Drew Ali's 404. He's talking about the book of Ali. Ayat 1. The last prophet in these days is noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. Ayat 2. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Yahushua in those days, to warn and stir up the nation and prepare them to receive the divine creed, which was to be taught by Yahushua. In these modern days, there came a forerunner who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam. And his name is Noble Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old-time religion and the everlasting gospel to the sons of men.
What is our religion? Islamism, right? So what did Noble Ali come teaching?
Islamism.
Continue. Continue.
Islam. That every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own and be one with their Father God Allah.
Okay.
The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization.
Right.
Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc.
What does the etc. part mean? It's just temples are supposed to be open in the United States. Is it only in the United States? Etc. Go ahead.
It's wrong. That the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of men under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We, as a clean and pure nation descended from the inhabitants of Africa,
Okay.
do not desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe.
Okay, stop right there for a minute. Stop right there for a minute. We, as a what? What does it say? As a pure what?
And clean nation.
Do not what? Do not desire to do what?
Amalgamate.
Nor.
Marry into the families of pale-skinned nations of Europe.
Okay. So if we as a pure and clean nations do not desire to amalgamate nor marry into the pale-skinned nations of Europe, why is everybody teaching amalgamation? Why is everybody trying to amalgamate?
Because they about to be extinct.
Yes.
Like the guy said, right? Those of them amongst their scholars know, right, that their birth rate is at 0.-5 degrees.
Yes.
Which actually means that there is no, right, regeneration of them as a people. And also, the other reason, right, for those of them that really don't understand science, the amalgamation process, right, or the marrying process is because they think that by doing that, they can preserve, right, their race. And thereby, on the higher level, right, those who have undermining intentions, they understand that when you have a child come forth, right, that's born of an Asiatic father or Asiatic mother and a European woman or man, that confusion will set in with the child. If the child isn't being taught, right, the proper understanding that any time, right, that an Asiatic bloodline, right, is sent into a European bloodline, that European bloodline is automatically, right, overcame by the Asiatic bloodline. That's the dominant gene, right, overtaking the recessive gene.
So was that done before?
Yes, it has been done before. And the thing about it is that the European bloodline needs our pure national blood in order to preserve their blood for seven generations.
Well,
And at the end of that time, they have to be married. And we can prove that even today.
to continue.
When that young lady married that
Prince married into the, yes, married into.
Queen Charlotte. It's been 7 generations between her and Queen Charlotte.
Right.
And the Queen even told her that I'm biracial too, but it's for a different reason.
You
The same thing they have to preserve because that's one reason Diana is dead today. She had to be lizards.
but okay. Now, you spoke a lot of science, and I appreciate that. But I'm still dealing with now. So why is it that the Moors, the ones who are supposed to know, this is what I'm referring to, why are they teaching amalgamation? What? No. That's my point. So you remember I started out, right? Where did I start from? The happiness of the joy of everybody raising the flag, right, in Philadelphia, right? Dealing with the Moroccan, and I'm gonna show you what it is. So you don't know, so you don't think that I'm trying to dupe you. Now, the news article, official news article from the city of Philadelphia, it says the Moroccan flag being raised, or call it Moroccan Flag Day. They're teaching that it is the raising of the Moorish flag. Let me restart this. So it comes back to what they're saying. They've lost their mind. Officially, those in law or in office, they know what it is. But they ain't going to tell you because they ain't supposed to tell you. Because now, on their paper, They telling you what it is, and they putting it right in front of you, but you're so blinded, or they have lost their minds, they're only seeing what they want to see when the truth is right in front of them. And I'm going to pull that record up and I pull that paper up to show you that how the officials in the city now that were there next to them when they were raising the flags, they dubbed that day the Moroccan flag raising day. That's what they wrote. Thank you very much. Not the Moorish. Now, Drew Ali is telling you we as a pure and clean nation is a Moorish nation. Right. Pure and clean. Why? Morocco and the Moroccan flag was already in existence. So it couldn't be pure and it couldn't be clean. It couldn't be pure because it's been tainted and stained already during slavery because they took part in our slave trade. So how can that be pure? How can that be clean? Why did Noble Drew Ali bring you back that? Because it is the descendant lineage, what he said, of your forefathers. You see, understand? So he brought you back what you need in order for you to unfold from. Not that it's yours. It is of your forefathers. The British did the same thing. Footsteps. I'm coming to you. The Union Jack is the flag of their forefathers. They used that flag. One of the first flag that they came up with, I'm going to put it up here in a minute, was the Stars and Stripes. You got in there. But in the upper canton, they had the Union Jack. What are they showing? The descendant lineage of their what? Forefathers. Then they got rid of the Union Jack. And what did they put in this instead now? The what? Somebody said it. The stars. So now you got the same thing, but the stars represented the 13 colonies being birthed from out of the Union Jack. Because the 13 colonies belong to who? Great Britain. So Drew Ali is using the same science, showing you how you are supposed to take these lessons and save yourself. And do the same thing.
On those flags he talks about, did the Europeans give those countries those flags?
No. Nope. Because who founded Tunis, Tripoli, and Morocco? What was the first flag that Morocco even had back then? Yeah, so it's, and every nation has a right to do what? Change its flag. Every nation can do that. We're the only one that's stuck and foolish, as the sister said, with the foolish teachings. Don't want to use, every nation has used the same lessons to free themselves. But we want the world to conform to our stupidity, thinking that we're right. It's crazy. But anyway, let's get into the lessons. So who came to fix our problem? And why was it necessary for one to come and fix our problem? One is because we've lost our minds. We lost our minds and we went into the lowest form of slavery. I ain't got to teach you all exactly how we become slaves and all that kind of stuff. I ain't got to do that today. We ain't going to do that. But according to our lessons, and I'm going to write this down, and this is, I know why I'm talking like this too. When did the Moors lose their nationality? This is the basic. I want everybody, if you understand this class right here, nobody's going to fool you. So if you got to write. I want you to, I'm going to give you exactly, I'm going through our timelines. That's what I'm going to do. When did Moors lose their nationality?
1774.
1774. Write that down. And we're getting into it now. Because these are the lessons that Drew Ali brought you. So Moors lost their nationality. Everybody knows it by when? 1774, right? And they love to say that, well, George Washington cut down the cherry tree. That's the way we used it. Cutting down the cherry tree in 1774. I'm going to do a whole lesson on that itself. Father, I cannot tell a lie. Was I who cut down the cherry tree? That BS. By the time George Washington's father died, George Washington was not even a boy. So how can he be a child? Thought, I cannot tell a lie. It was who cut down the cherry tree. But we're going to deal with that later on again. I'm going to promise you I'm going to go into that. So in 1774, lost your nationality. Okay. Denationalized, right? So we know Declaration of Human Rights explained that everybody needs what? A nationality, right? So if you don't have a nationality, you're outside of the human family. You're dead in the water. Not human, civiliter mortus. You're dead. And as dead property, nothing really in law applies to you. Anybody can do what the heck they want to do with you. You're dead. Just a walking dead. But what you got to realize now, this applies to law. That's what we're dealing with. In 1774, you lost your nationality. What happened in America in 1775? What's it called? Revolutionary War. Revolutionary War. What was that war about? Let's talk.
The British that had come over to this area, this
Mm-hmm.
land, they wanted their own independence from Great Britain
Okay.
because they did not want to have to continue paying the taxes and all that stuff that was there.
Okay, that's one thing that they said, which is she's right on point. Revolutionary War, cause of the war, because the British, the 13 colonies that we talked about, right, did not want to do what? Be under the iron hand oppression of England anymore. Does that sound familiar? Did not want to be under the iron hand oppression of England anymore. So the 13 colonies, they did fought what? The Revolutionary War. They are exercising their God-given right. We don't like being under you anymore, so we want to govern ourselves and rule ourselves, so we're going to fight for what? Our independence, right? What is that? Is that not law?
Yes.
Okay. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another. Well, we don't like the way you're treating us. Now it's time we want to fight our own war, govern our own selves. So guess what? We dissolve in that political band. I don't want to be your people no more. That's law. And assume among the powers of the earth, equal but separate station. You are power, I want to be a power. That's law. Okay. So they fought the Revolutionary War. That war, when did they what? 1776, what happened? They did what? United States was formed. And what do we celebrate every year? No, what is it called? What? Independence Day. Independence Day. And what day is that on actually? 4th of daylight. Not you. You didn't lie. 4th of daylight. So you celebrate that. Independence Day, 4th of July. Now here's the part where most Moors miss it. And everybody missed this, and you gotta catch this. So now independence is formed, right? That it becomes, it says, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people, right? One people. When in the course of human events. But 1774, you lost your nationality. So are you human? No. Does this apply to you? No. So in 1776 now, or even 75, when you fought in the revolution, they already knew that our number one is, you're not even part of what's being born. Of course, they did that more than once. We know, I can show it to you left and right. But you got to get this, and you have to understand, if you don't get this part and this part right here, you're going to get confused. You're going to celebrate the 4th. You're going to say, well, we celebrating our independence. We is the art, and we, you understand? But now they never dealt with this within their founding documents. So in their documents or in their jurisdiction, you are still this.
Still your status.
Exactly. You're still stateless. You got to get that. See those 1, 2, 3 steps? If you miss that, they got you. You're confused. Because now Moors are going to teach how we founded and we wrote the Constitution. Since when does slave write Constitution? And then you're going to write your name in the document as slaves. Like she said, they don't lost their what? Lost their minds. So we're going to break it down. So now, every new nation or new birth that comes have to have a document that does what? Governs that new nation. So So the first thing they wrote in 1777 was called what? Articles of what? Confederation. Why Articles of Confederation now? Because the 13 colonies got together and they formed a confederacy. That's the first form of government that the new colonies had. It's a confederacy. You get it? So now that confederacy, they know this is the preliminary document. They've already agreed now because they'll teach you in Carpenter's Hall at the first convention where they chopped down the Moors, and that's the first one, right? That's the convention. They agreed now to meet again at the Second Continental Congress. They already know that. Why? So now we want to do what? Look at this document and see how it's functioning, how things are, any adjustments we need to make, etc., etc. We're going to look at it during that time. So when they met? Second Continental Congress, right? 17 what? 1787. No, yeah, 1787. But okay, good. I'm glad. Let's get this first now. Because let me go back a little bit. So let's go here. I ain't gonna go. 1777. Now I want y'all to write the famous teaching that everybody does. 1786. What were written? Peace and what? Friendship treaty. We're gonna deal with that. Peace and friendship treaty. Okay. Peace and friendship treaty. It's not me now. I'm going to deal with it because I'm tired of you leading people astray. Tired of leading people astray. That's what I'm dealing with now. This is the peace and friendship treaty. It's in there. Read down here now. Do you see 1777? 1777? We're dealing with it, right? Anybody want to read? Can anybody see that? No. Okay, well, I'll read it now. Blow it up? Yeah. Okay, because y'all can see it. All right, we blow it up. No problem. We'll blow it up. I promise y'all, trust me, everything that you're going to learn here, nobody going to trick you. Nobody going to fool you with foolishness. Blow it up. Let's go as big as... Can you see that? How about that? Make it better for you, right? All right. Even that's better? All right. Well, Morocco is the first country that recognized the newly formed country. Okay? That's what they're going to say. We got a peace. The first treaty written with the new independent country was Morocco. So it says, Morocco relationship 1777 to 1777 to 1787. Reflected the international and economic concerns of these two states. In the late 18th century, the American leaders and the Sultan signed what? 1786 treaty. Largely for what? Somebody want to read that again? Largely for what? Economic reasons. But also realized that the peaceful relationship would aid them in their relations with other powers, that persistent friendliness of Sultan, this is a Sultan, to the young republic. In other words, the young country that's being formed, in spite of the fact that overthrows were initially ignored. You heard it again? What was that? It was what? Ignored. Because the Sultan, after they gained their independence, Morocco was going through a famine. They were going through hard times. They needed to find a way to do new business. So he did what? And I got the documents and I'll put it up again later on. Before the United States was founded, they had what? The 13 colonies, right? That means that any business that the 13 colonies was able to do, who were responsible for doing business and sending it? It was through Great Britain. So Great Britain had different treaties with different countries. Then they would send whatever it is they agreed upon to the 13 colonies. Before this, Morocco had a peace and friendship treaty with who? With Great Britain. What was the biggest business during the 13 colonies before the independence? What was the biggest business? What is it called? Slavery. There's the economy. Economics reasons. So now the 13 colony breaks away from Great Britain. Morocco just lost what? Money. They just lost commerce. So now I want to continue commerce. What am I going to do? Hey, what's up, man? Let's talk. Let's talk. I need to get some of this what? Money rolling on. You follow me now? Yes. I need to get some of this money rolling on. So I'm going to reach out to the newly formed what? Country. Hey, what's up, pieces? What's up? Let's do business. They did that, but guess what happened? They reached out, which is the overtures, reached out, but what? What initially what? I ain't paying you no mind right now. It's a new country. I'm trying to deal with what I got to deal with in between. So the Peace and Friendship Treaty was between. Now, once again, we wrote a Peace and Friendship Treaty. You understand? We got a Peace and Friendship Treaty with the United States. Number one is, you're not even human according to what it is. You lost your nationality here. You didn't have it here at the independence, Revolutionary War. Didn't have it here, and you sure didn't have it here. Because you were what? Still what? Chattel. Lost as heck. Now, we're going to bust it in now. Everybody good with this so far, right? So now, we're going to meet at the Second Continental Congress. They said they're going to meet in Philadelphia. That year was 87. So in 1787, they met in Philadelphia to go over the Articles of Confederation. What do we have here? The Article of Confederation, some of the things under it was, guess what? We have 13 colonies. Each one of y'all, we consider to be a sovereign state. So you got 13 sovereign states running around in 13 colonies. That's bad for business. Why? South Carolina, let's say South Carolina didn't like the fact that we fought the war with Great Britain. Let's just say that, the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, they were getting ready to fight their own war.
Thank you very much. But that's the difference. You ain't quite lost your mind. The other ones, they can't see that. So what happens now, let's say North Carolina did like the war. Or even Virginia did like the war. South Carolina had the ability as a sovereign state to do what? Business now with what? Great Britain. So if Great Britain sends a ship into South Carolina and they still mad at North Carolina or Virginia, now you got enemies where? Real close. So you can send spies to Virginia, send spies to North Carolina to do what? Infiltrate and cause harm. They realize, oh, that's not security. Yes, but even that. The French, we'll talk as to why the French even sided with the United States. Because the French people don't know in Great Britain were always warring. So they were mad at each other. So when the French saw an opportunity to fight against, guess what they do? Oh, you understand? Because they were fighting amongst each other. Anyway, so here we go. We're going to deal with this. Each one now had the ability to write its own article and its own treaty. So the idea of that was not a good thing. So the greatest thing they dealt with for security purpose, they said, now guess what? Now we're agreeing to come up with a new constitution to govern the newly formed what? Organization or the newly formed country. One of the first things that they wrote, two things I'm going to get in. Then we can get. One of the first things that they wrote was, let me see if I'm connected. Somebody, I want to pull it up. This is the beautiful part. This is going to hurt y'all, but I got to put it. I'm telling you, when I'm done here, nobody ain't going to mess with y'all. I got to pull it up. Come on, get out of here. What's going on? My password. Computer tripping. Anyway, somebody pull up Article 1, Section 9 of the United States Constitution on their phone. Article 1, somebody pull it up. Article 1, Section 9. I don't understand why this is doing this. Don't say. There you go.
Article 1, Section 9.
Article 1, Section 9. Article 1, Section 9. What in the heck going on? Somebody blank. Somebody causing problem there. Article 1, Section 9. Okay, there we go. Article 1, Section 9 to the United States Constitution. Pull it up. Anybody got it? Yeah. You got it in your own book? I'm going to pull it up too because I want to blow it up and then put it on the record. I'm going to put it on the record. Article 1, Section 9. Who has it?
Specifically prohibits
Article 1, Section. Hold on. What does it say, Sister Felicia?
Article 1, Section 9 specifically prohibits Congress shall legislate in certain areas. In the first clause of the Constitution.
And
The migration or
that's what I want right there, sis. Read it for me.
the migration or importation of such persons as any of the states now existing shall think proper to admit shall not be prohibited by the Congress prior to the year 1808, but a tax or duty may be imposed on such importation not exceeding $10 for each person.
Okay, stop there again now. We're going to read it up again now. So I'm ready to go now. I'm in the house now. Y'all don't mess with me now. Business is on. We had a rough day start, but we're going to get it right. Article 1, Section 9. Section 9. We get it now. Beep. All right, there we go. Article 1, Section 9. Now, we're dealing with, everybody can see that now? Article 1, Section 9. We can see it, right? Okay, I'll blow it up for you too again. I'll blow it up. Article 1, Section 9. I got to put it in words to blow it up. But now you can see
I got
it.
a question.
Yes, sir.
So, being civil marchers after
Yep.
Washington shot down a cherry tree, that's the same thing with that says 2K, correct? That's 1666.
Where do you think it come from? You know, 3 Juby brothers. France, England, and who? Spanish, right? Where did the black coats come from? Spanish. Who regulates the 13 colonies? Great Britain. France had their part on the mainland. Spain had their part on the mainland. So all of it is still dealing with the dead man. So they brought their laws to deal with the what? Because it's still jurisdiction. How do I bring my laws on to a certain jurisdiction? I got a special class for that too. We'll deal with it. So in essence, yes, you are. Okay? I got to read it. So now remember now that the treaty was an economic what? Purpose, right? So now when Congress is meeting now at the Philadelphia what? Second Continental Congress, they looking and they saying, hey, whatever. Who's empowered to write laws and enforce laws? Congress, right? So now it's telling you now the migration or importations of such person as the states now existing shall think it proper. What's the migration and importation? What was it called? Slavery. So the 13 colonies before they broke away formed their own, they had slavery going on. When they formed their independence, they had what? Slavery going on. As each state is a what? Sovereign state at that time can still continue doing what? Business as slaves. They can do that. It said thinking proper shall not be what? Prohibited. We ain't going to even mess with it. We're not going to mess with it. But Congress prior to the year of what? 1808. We're not even going to look at that business of slave trade going on within this territory, just jurisdiction, until 1808. But here's the kicker. But a tax or duty may be imposed on such importation not to exceed what? $10 on each person. So what's happening here? Who's making money? Congress making money. Congress making money. Each time the slave states did a trade, what? Money's paid. So now you have a business. Anytime you sell any type of product, don't you pay tax to the state? Don't you pay tax to the state? It's the same thing. So you ain't nothing but a product. But you wrote the Constitution though. And wrote yourself in it. That's a problem. Most of them not thinking, and this is the foolishness that they put out to America, why people looking at most of us as crazy. Now, those that know law and enforce law, they know what's wrong with these people. We know what we did. We know what we're doing. Okay. Then, here's another fix that they said. Now, each state had the ability to write their own treaty, right? In 1787, now who's the only person that can write treaties? Congress. So that was a fix. You see the problem? So that was a fix to strengthen the unity of how the one nation is going to move accordingly. Now, that, of course. So that's when George Washington and them, when they walked out, now everything when they came out with that new constitution that was written now, and he wrote back to Muhammad now, the Sultan, saying, well, hey, look, man, sorry for it being wrong, because we found it, we needed to what? Form a new government. Because the one that they had was not strong. So apologizing for the long overtures that was never what responded to. So we found it fit to read, and by 1789, all the states then had agreed to the new document, which is called the U.S. what? Constitution, that was formed in 1777, 1789, it was ratified. So all of them agreed to the new terms. That's what you do. Each one of them signed off. This is what we're going to agree upon. Okay, you don't buy the slavery until 1808. We're going to take a look at it again. Okay, I agree with that. Only Congress can form treaties. Okay, I agree with that. That's ratification, man. We all accept those terms. Okay? We're going to work with this now. I'm in it now. So, you got the new country. By 1790 now, what they doing now? They're going to call what you call the Naturalization Act. What does Naturalization Act mean now? It's telling you we have a new country and who can be citizens and who can't be citizens of this country. That's what they're telling you. They wrote it, their jurisdiction, we're writing it now. Now, watch how powerful this man is. Watch this. By 1790, 1787, 1789, 1786, watch what Noble Drew Ali did. Because now in our chapter we read that the last prophet in these times and these days is who? Noble Drew Ali. And he came to correct certain things according to the biblical principles of a prophet that was going to be raised from among a people just like the Israelites, and how to get them out of slavery. So here's what he said. This is his documents. This is document, Act 6. With us, we are teaching, with us all citizens must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. Why he's teaching you your nationality? 1774, what happened? You lost your nationality. So what is he bringing you? He's bringing you the information that you need. Then he says right here, their nationality and their divine creed. So you lost two things here at the beginning. Then he says that they may know that they are not what? Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopian. Why? Because these names were given to who? Slaves. When were they given? 1779. Think about that now. You lost your nationality. What do we call these people? What are we going to do with them? You're wanderers wandering, and then they decide they're going to name you what? Those that had lost their nationality, they gave them a name within the system. First names was Negro. So now the slave, you don't have a nationality, I call you what? Negro. That's your mark. Without a nationality, you're dead, walking around. You don't, your property, a Coke can, a cherry Coke, this is the same thing. Nationality, so now you're a Negro. That's what I'm naming this chattel property, this thing that I've created, this car that I'm able to trade. I'm not going to call it a red car. I'm going to call it a Negro at this particular time. Okay? But once again, 1775, you're a Negro. Peace and Friendship Treaty written, you're what? Negro. Yeah? 1787, the Constitution written, you're still what? Negro. 1790, you're still what? Negro. You follow me? Now, here's the beautiful part. So why do Moors think that we have a peace and friendship treaty with the United States? Abraham Lincoln, no, Abraham Lincoln answered it. Think about it. Though it's a crime to be black, but my client is what? A Moor. So what has he just told you? The Moors are, no, not free. What do they look like? They look like us. He's telling you that. But these Moors now, that's why they say the free sundry Moors, those Moors are the one who are doing the slave trade with Morocco for economic purposes. So when they're bringing the slaves over, guess what they're doing? Dropping them off. Some of them do what? Stayed and mingle. Hang around, did this with that, formed a little community in between. But those are the ones who are doing the slaving and the shipping and the moving. So now they can trace that we have what? But you the sellouts. Now everybody said, well, Moors sold their own people into what? Into slavery. Everybody heard that, right? Listen to that.
Not true.
No, yes it is. But listen, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you. Listen to the language. It's very important. Moors sold their own people into slavery. What's that mean? Break it down. No. Moors sold Moors. It's simple. Moors sold their own people into slavery. So you're a Moor. Some of us was put over here and then they put us in the slave port and denationalized. I'm not going to tell you that you're Moors. You don't even know who you are. So I'm cutting you off from who? Your descendant lineage. Speak.
Okay, I agree. Right. But the distinction, right? Moors in terms of the descendant nature.
Yes.
Cannot be changed, right?
Right.
Even though, right, those particular Moors on their descendant bloodline, they were not identifying themselves as Moors, they were identifying themselves as Muslims, which is a mindset.
Thank you very much.
You can't change the descendant nature. So what you said is right with the Moors in terms of who they really were.
Yes.
Okay, I got
Yes.
you. I just want to make sure I understand.
Right.
It's also during that time they wasn't selling them because they were a different complexion or a different skin color. They all looked the same, but they were what they call them war.
There was an economic reason. It's
Right.
business.
Right. Whereas over in the New Land, when they was the distinction between the Europeans and the Moors then is you inferior because of the color of your skin.
Well, that's a different. That's their chattel system of slavery. How they do business once they come over here, they have a right to set up whatever business they want to. If I open a shop, I can sell what I want to in my shop. I can put my products where I want to put to in my shop. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is the Moors that saying, oh, more so more than I'm going to be more. They fail to realize that the reason behind then is not necessarily the same.
That they're looking at it now. Go ahead. I got you.
Well, let me add this, right?
I got you,
Because,
sister.
you know, the chair, our chairman, our Grand National Chairman, he spoke about this issue, right? And the thing that we have to understand is that the Moors at that time, or the Sultan of Morocco, had, right, compromised the original teachings of Islamism.
Yeah.
For the 5 pillars of Islam.
Exactly.
Now, if you go into, right, the Grand Quran, they still have, right, verses in there that tell you about, you understand, the laws of slavery.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So there's a difference. Because, see, originally, Islamism doesn't deal in slavery.
No. Because you're a God. Why you can't enslave a God? You ain't supposed to. So what happened, that's why Drew said, is that a new religion or an old-time religion? What is the answer? It's an old-time religion. So when even the Sultan now, he already had a relationship before the United States was formed with who? With Great Britain about slavery. So he was already out of law. So only wrong can come out of that. But let's get back here anyway. So we in here now. Everybody good with this? Because I want to erase this. Yeah, oh yes, I forgot. Go ahead.
The Moors of that time that were doing this are like our black politicians today.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly why I'm doing this class like this. Because what happened is now, right, most of the politicians, they're not supposed to tell you who you are. Because they're bound by not only oaths, but they got to eat the big piece of chicken, like I like to say. So if I keep you not knowing who you are, I can continue eating off of your flesh. It's the same thing. Let's get here. So the timeline. Everybody 1790, you realize what just happened? So how long, Drew Ali, according to him, it says slave names given to slave from 1779 and lasted until when? 1865. During the time of slavery. He's right. 1779 until 1865 during the time of slavery. So, watch this now. I'm going to hurt y'all today, but we're going to make this nice. So where am I? 1790, right?
Make sure you make it hurt good.
Make sure I make it look good? Heard good? Heard good. All right. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm 1790. So we're in house now. We're going to deal with it now. Watch this. So now everything is set. They got the naturalization law. The country's going along good. 18, where it becomes, who remember this case? We got 1857. We know about Dred Scott. We know about the Dred Scott case. What does it say?
That the Negro has no rights. That the European, well, in that time he said white man.
Yes.
That the European is obligated to respect.
And guess what? A lot of people still don't want to admit it. I've called the Supreme Court itself.
And they never changed.
They never changed it.
So the free Negro of the African race whose ancestors were brought to this country and sold as slaves is not a citizen within the meaning of the Constitution of the United States.
And because his case, he had been a slave.
Right.
And in the court, he said that, his owners had set him free. So the court was like, well, because you was a slave, then you can go back to being a slave.
Yeah.
You can.
Because slaves can't sue in court.
Right. Whereas.
Property can't do, but once again, who remember the Amistad case?
Yeah.
What is the Amistad case? What happened? What's the difference there?
They were never slaves.
Had nationality.
Right.
So was able to do what? Gain the freedom, go back to their business.
Did they still go on the maritime law with that?
It's still the same law any which way. Because maritime law is still dealing with nations doing business with other nations, regardless of how you look at it.
Yeah, just real quick. A lot of, just something that I just learned recently that is very powerful. The same judge, right, who made the decision in that
Judge Scott case, Tannen.
Right, also freed
Yes.
or more in his nationality.
Of course. I'm glad that you brought that up.
Which is why nationality is so important.
Nationality is the order of the day. Now, so we're going to go because Noble Drew Ali gave a specific thing here now. So now, watch how this works. Where I'm from, which is in the Virgin Islands, right? Puerto Rico, Guam, all these places are considered what? Territories of what? The United States. Territories of the United States. You got the Northwest territories. You got Missouri getting ready to become part of what? The Union as either a free state or a what? Slave state. Congress now, according to Congress, in order to become a state, you got to petition Congress to become a state, a part of the Union. Whether they're going to say yeah or they're going to say no. They do that, or either they're going to do like what they do in Hawaii. The businessmen got together and did what? Concord, take over, overthrow Hawaii, and make it part of the United States. Everybody don't want to talk about that. But that's how it works. So now, I'm going to show you how messed up it is. Most Americans don't even know that Puerto Rico is what? Belongs to the United States, especially right now. They don't know that. The president don't even know he's a part of it, because when he said he went to Puerto Rico and met with the president of Puerto Rico. He said that. And he did the same where I'm from, which is in the Virgin Islands. Now watch this. In the Virgin Islands, or even Puerto Rico, we're considered American citizens, right? Or citizens, no, let me correct that. Citizens of the United States. We don't have a right to vote for president. But we're considered, we got to follow the same law as everything, right? Now, here's the kicker. I'm in Puerto Rico or whether in the Virgin Islands. I'm paying taxes down there. I can't vote. Listen to that, right? While I'm down there. I moved to North Carolina now. I haven't done anything different. I just moved to North Carolina. Now I can do it. Now I can vote. Why is that?
It's a voter's right act and you change your jurisdiction.
But yes, I have every right as an American citizen, supposedly, right? Because on paper, I'm a full United States citizen. On paper. But I can't vote. But that's my point exactly. Why? You're dealing with jurisdictions again. That's why the Indians born in America or born in the United States, right? Born in the United States, the Indians are not citizens or weren't afforded to be citizens until 1924. Right. So now you're dealing with, once again, jurisdictions. It's a game. Noble duality, by you being born here does not make you a citizen. Think about that. All right, so let's get back to it. So 1857, we'll deal with that. So 1860 now, I want to deal with this very importantly. 1860 now, we're in Congress. We're mad now because now we're talking about Missouri joining the Union as a free state or a slave state. That ain't in between. They decided, I guess what it was going to come in. The southern states got mad, and what did they do? They walked out. Because the problem now was, the debate was over what? Slavery. Why slavery? Because now you're dealing with what? Economics. Economics. Slavery made the South real what? Real powerful. So now they're trying to balance this. A slave state or a free state? How do we do that? So they brought in, the South got mad, walked out. Most people that follow Taj, he likes to say this. Well, you'll do that. I only know a few people who do that. I ain't going to continue doing that. You know what that means? Okay. But anyway. So there was... Yeah, with me. So the southern states walked out in terms that said sin die. Okay? Walked out without adjourning. Because after you walk out, it kind of has been adjourned. You can do that, okay? So according to their teaching, right? According to their teaching, any amendments or articles or anything written after that is unconstitutional. That's according to them, okay. But Deuteronomy 18 and 15 already told me who I need to listen to. I got to listen to Noble Drew Ali. I got to listen to Noble Drew Ali. I ain't going to listen to Taj. I'm listening to Noble Drew Ali, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, we're going to bring it home. So in 1860, by 1861, the southern states that walked out, right? South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, all the southern states that were powerful of slavery. They walked out and they formed a what? Own constitution by doing what? They didn't like what was going on, right? So they said, now, by law, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them to one another and to assume among the powers of the earth a separate but equal station. Somebody tell me what just happened. They separated and formed their own what? Own government, own country. It's called the Confederate what? States. They formed it. We can go in and say, well, it was illegal because we had a union where we would say we were going to stay together, etc., etc. They walked out, formed their own. Now, this is the part most people don't do. Did they do something wrong? No, because it tells you what? Which the laws of who? Nature, and of nature's God entitled them. They didn't do anything wrong. They did it by the book. Now, Great Britain, in the meantime, Great Britain watching to see, well, hey, what's going on between this? They got a new country over here. They having war, civil war. Who's going to win? Because you remember now, guess what just happened? The 13 colonies, when they broke away, France sided with who? The 13 colonies to do what? Go against Great Britain, right? So Great Britain waiting in that saying and see, well, what's going to happen? Who going to win this war? If the Confederates had won, who would Great Britain do business with? The Confederate States. You follow me? So they watching it here now. By 1861, they formed their own country. What did they have? They had their own what? Own flag. own treasury, own constitution, because each thing has to have a constitution that governs them. Own military, own post office, own et cetera, et cetera. Here's what most people don't know. The Constitution of the Confederacy is just like the United States Constitution. Y'all want to pull it up or y'all going to pull it up yourselves? Pull it up yourselves.